Hey beef lovers, Queensland, Australia boasts 10.7 million cows, outnumbering New Yorkers and Angelenos combined, fueling a $10 billion industry that stocks your grills. How do they thrive in such a wild place? Tell us your guess about life before the processing factory kicks in. Drop it below, and let's dive into this epic cattle tale. Cattle farming in Queensland didn't spring up overnight. It kicked off in the 1000s, 860s, when pioneers drove herds into the outback, battling harsh terrain and indigenous resistance to establish stations, some spanning over 1 million acres. By 1900, Queensland was Australia's beef capital, a title it's held ever since. Historical records from the Queensland State Archives show that early stockmen relied on sheer willpower, horses, and basic fencing to manage herds. Today that legacy lives on, but with a modern twist. Drones, GPS, and solar-powered water pumps have replaced lassos and lanterns. How do you think those old-timers would react to seeing a farmer herd cows with a joystick? Caring for 10.7 million cows across 670,000 square miles, 2.5 times the size of Texas, takes more than grit. It takes science. Research from the University of Queensland highlights how farmers combat heat stress. A processor in summers that hit 110 DHF cows get shade structures and misting systems, while selective breeding has produced tougher breeds like the Brahman, which thrives in the tropics. At the processing factory, science steps up again. Veterinarians use vaccines to keep herds disease-free. A must for exporting to picky markets like the U.S. Ever wonder how much hotter it'll get with climate change? And what that means for these cows? Picture this. Dawn breaks over a dusty plain, and a farmer named Jacko saddles up. You're out there by 5 a.m. checking water, moving cattle? Nature doesn't wait, he told me in an interview last month. His station, a 500,000-acre beast, is one of thousands dotting Queensland. Cows graze on native grasses, supplemented by hay and dry spells, and drink from massive tanks, some holding 50,000 gallons trucked in when creeks dry up. Mustering or rounding up cattle is a daily dance, often aided by helicopters or dogs. At the processing factory, workers like Sarah, a 10-year veteran, say, "We see the end of their journey. Healthy cows mean quality beef." What's your morning routine like compared to Jacko's? Queensland's cattle aren't just local heroes, they're global players. The beef industry pumps $10 billion into Australia's economy annually. With 2024 financial reports from Meat and Livestock Australia showing exports to the U.S. alone worth $1,200 million. That's enough beef to make 2 billion quarter-pounders. At the processing factory, efficiency is king. Plants like JBS Australia's in Rockhampton churn out 3,000 heads a day, meeting American demand for lean, grass-fed cuts. Compare that to the U.S., where 32 million cows support a $67 billion industry. Queensland's smaller herd punches above its weight. How often do you think about where your burger comes from? Mother Nature doesn't play nice in Queensland. In 2019, floods drowned over 500,000 cattle, a $400 million gut punch documented by the Queensland government. Droughts, meanwhile, shrink pastures and spike feed costs. Some farmers spend $1 million a year keeping herbs alive. Yet resilience shines through. After the floods, we rebuilt fences, replanted grass. Quitting isn't an option, says Mary, a station owner near Longreach. At the processing factory, managers adapt too, adjusting processing schedules when supply dips. Ever faced a setback that big and bounced back? How do you care for millions of cows across a state bigger than Alaska? You get creative. Solar-powered pumps deliver water to remote paddocks, while GPS collars track herds across vast ranges. It's like playing a video game sometimes, laughs Tom, a young stockman using drones to muster cattle. At the processing factory, automation speeds up packing, but old-school skills like hand-cutting prime rib still matter. Experts like Dr. Lisa Carter, a livestock researcher, note Queensland's blend of tech and tradition keeps it competitive. What tech do you think could revolutionize farming next? The journey ends at the processing factory, where cows become the beef Americans grill every summer. Queensland's 10.7 million strong herd fuels a system that's both brutal and beautiful. Floods and heat test their limits, but farmers and workers push back with ingenuity and heart. Official stats from the Australian Bureau of